He's Octopus Investments Lothar Mentel. Lothar, thank you for coming in. It does seem that it is actually very difficult to navigate the markets, because one day they're up, one day they're down. What's the first piece of advice you'd give to an investor today?
Don't lose your head. We're back in the risk-on, risk-off type of trading environment where any piece of news, as we saw, can send the markets either roaring or soaring. And therefore, you really want to not make too erratic moves at the moment unless you really, really are confident that you know what you're doing. So in our asset allocation, we're keeping a relatively steady ship. Yes, we're keeping away from Europe to a fair extent, but we have done so with an underweight towards Europe for quite a while. Initially, it didn't pay off. Now it's paying off hugely, putting more money into the US, more money into emerging markets in Asia. But otherwise, yes, we're just trying to trade around the margin.
Yeah, keep your head cool. But do you invest longer term, 3-4 months, or even a year? Because at the moment, markets are so jittery.
Well, you always, in managed portfolios, have sort of two levels. You've got your long-term investment horizon, and yes, that's still positive. The latest upheavals have not upset that. The underlying macro data, company data coming through strong, so that case is still intact. But on the shorter term, you have to be a bit tactically savvy and not, try to really outwit the markets, because in this environment where the VIX is back to in the 40 range, it's just really hard to get that right.
So much volatility. What kind of sectors are you looking for? Are there any cheap bargains out there on valuations that actually you think are safe, but also a good bargain?
Well, for those who are, more on the trading side, on the very active with sort of a daily, weekly time horizon, do look at what sells off most when the markets just go into turmoil or again on, so today, whatever was off yesterday is on back today, and you can probably make a good buck on that. So commodities probably oversold, miners, financial stocks. If the market is now starting to look through what Germany did there, those are pretty good bargains.
What about the currencies, euro, dollar? I've actually had everyone saying, well, looking at parity or 1.1, except Jim O'Neill, the Goldman Sachs chief economist, saying, well, I would actually buy the euro because everyone else is selling.
Well, I got it wrong 2 weeks ago when I sat here and I said, I could see the euro strengthening on more unity across Europe. I think Germany has just put some serious doubt into that 2 days ago, so I'd stay a bit clear of the euro. That's a highly speculative trade at the moment, but over the longer term that could still pay off.
But you got it right yesterday that actually what was announced by Germany won't actually spread to Europe, and so the markets haven't really felt an impact today. Do you think that story is now buried? Yeah.
Well, it's not buried. It has increased the risk around Europe because it has shown that there isn't that unity that we thought there was 2 weeks ago. There will be unilateral actions, and that's not good news for Europe overall. But yes, I'm glad that the markets have looked through it, have gone more local, and realized that this was a ploy to really just appease the parliament to pass that piece of legislation that Merkel needs in order to support the broader European issues.
Lothar, how much cash do you have in your portfolio?
We'll have somewhere between 2 and 5%. We'll sometimes hold back cash, but not massive.
All right, Lothar, thank you so much. Lothar Mentel there.